Can you hear me okay?
Transportation discussions going on here.
Good.
Mayor, we are recording.
Okay. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we'll have a roll call. If you do that, please. Chip, you want to do that for us?
I can.
Please.
Jack Vapato,
Present.
Mike Gallagher,
Morning.
Mayor Cobb,
Here.
Jonathan Senna,
Here.
Susan Crockett,
Here.
Jason Shirley,
Here.
John Heaton,
And Finn Smith.
and Finn Smith.
Finn Smith is the new representative for the city of Hobbs on the Eddy Lea board. He was appointed by the commission last month, a couple weeks ago.
And for the body's information, I am in DC online, and I'm attending a national transportation conference that's basically dealing with fuel. Used fuel. So that's where I am on company business, if you will, Ely business.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little deeper into the meeting. I had some questions about that. I know I read an article about there being some changes in the definition of used fuel, John. Is that something that you got?
This is only dealing with transportation.
Okay.
Some discussion about the definition, but not much in depth.
Okay. As per our bylaws, each year we change our election of officers, and the chair moves from either City of Hobbs or Lee County to Eddy or the City of Carlsbad. So that's the first item on our agenda this morning is the election of officers. So I'll open it up for discussion from the Eddy County side. Have you guys decided who you want to serve as chair for the coming year?
Yes, I think we would like John Heaton to serve as chair.
Okay. Do we have a motion as such?
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Valpato, a second by Mr. Gallagher. I'll ask for a roll call vote. Chip?
Oh, okay. Jack Vapato,
Yes.
Mike Gallagher,
Yes.
Finn Smith,
Yes.
Jonathan Senna,
Yes.
Jason Shirley,
Yes.
Susan Crockett,
Yes.
Mayor Cobb.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Heaton, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you.
Oh, we didn't get,
Mr. Chairman, in deference to me being here and that the election is for, I think, beginning July 1st,
Okay?
the fiscal year, I would defer to you to continue running the meeting.
Okay, I can do that. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the March 13, 2019 meeting. I'll give you a couple of minutes to review those.
Mayor Cobb, just a point, did you ask Mr. Heaton how he voted on his nomination?
no, I didn't.
Would you just
Yeah.
ask him?
Okay.
John, how do you vote on the election of officers?
What was the motion, Mr.
Then
Chairman?
you become the chair of the Lea. It won't hurt for you to vote for yourself. We all do.
Well, I'll say myself.
Okay. So the motion is, yes, we do need to vote for vice chair and secretary. So the next item would
We need a
be,
vice chair and a treasurer and secretary.
right, so who is our current vice chair?
Mr.
Okay,
Johnny.
Do we have a motion for a vice chair?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chair, that Mr. Cobb be our vice chair.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Gallagher, a second by Mr. Smith. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed, same side. Okay. So I will become the vice chair and the secretary. Who is our current secretary? Okay. We
Yeah, I
have,
think it's,
Commissioner Crockett.
yes, I think you're treasurer.
so we need a secretary.
Make a motion to, Mr. Chair, to nominate Commissioner Susan Crockett as our secretary of the board.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Shirley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same.
Eaton online.
Okay. Any opposed, same sign. That motion does pass unanimously. And now a treasurer. We need to have a motion for the treasurer.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we, to nominate Mr. Valhado as the treasurer of the board.
On this treasure.
You can't do it again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll second.
All right. Have a motion by Mr. Gallagher, a second.
I didn't know if you-
Mr. Shirley, that we retain Mr. Valpado as treasurer. All of those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Sorry, Jack.
Heaton online, yes.
Okay, motion does pass unanimously. That takes care of the election of all the officers, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's now go to the minutes. I'll give you some time to read the minutes. Are there any questions or comments regarding the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the minutes from March 13th, 2019.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Crockett. We have a second by Mr. Gallagher. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
I'd like to abstain.
And the record will reflect that Mr. Smith abstained from the vote. Before we go on to the discussion, I want to recognize Senator Gay Kernan here today. We appreciate your attendance. Thank you for being here, Senator. Item number 5, director staff comments for discussion. Do we have any director staff comments?
Don't believe so by staff.
Okay. Financial report for discussion.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. If you look, we have a financial report. It shows that we've had expenditures year-to-date as of May 31st of $48,583.11. We have received a revenue this year of $86,000, which was $75,000 from 3 of the member entities, and then the $11,000 due in rent for the tower. So as of May 31st, 2019, we have a cash balance on hand of $136,348.22.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead, Mr.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, this is Heaton. What is the status of each one of the members? Is everybody paid up in full?
Not, from my understanding, there is one entity, Lee County, has not remitted the $25,000 that the other 3 of us did here several months ago.
Okay.
Mr. Senate, you got any comments regarding that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But, yes, sir. Well, I mean, let's continue conversation to see what we're looking about for the next, over the next few months. But from that previous vote, no. But I did vote in favor of it, for the record,
Okay.
personally.
The next item on the agenda is to approve the accounts payable. I'll turn it back over to Chip.
Right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you look at the report, it shows the year-to-date expenditures. The ones that are highlighted in green at the lower part of it are the ones that have been paid out since the last meeting. And so those would be the ones that need to be voted on at this time.
Okay. Questions of the board? May I have a motion for approval of payment of the accounts payable, highlighted in green at the record reflects?
I'll make that motion, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Ms. Crockett makes the motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Shirley seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Heaton online, aye.
Okay. No opposition, the motion does pass. Okay, item number 8, authorized response to governor's letters opposing Holtec, the Secretary of Energy, Perry, and others. John, do you want to take that first for discussion?
I would. I think that Mr. Chairman, I sent you a hypothetical resolution. I don't know whether that's been distributed or not. But as I think we all now are aware, that the governor came out in opposition to the project, and based on the fact that there were three organizations, the Farm and Ranch Bureau and the Cattlemen's Association and the Permian Basin Petroleum Association came out in opposition. The resolution that I presented, and I can read through it if you would like me to, but I think that my intent or my thought, and this is up to the group, is that we respond to all of these organizations and to Secretary Perry and the NRC supporting the project. And I think that we should engage the governor, and we should engage those three groups as well as other groups now across the state, and try to educate them about the project, about the risks, and the low level or non-existent risks that exist with the project, and have some productive conversations with them. It may take one or two meetings, and for them to lay out their concerns, and then for us to figure out how to mitigate those concerns. I think that both folks from Eddy County, Carlsbad, and Lee County, Hobbs, have met with Secretary Kenny, and we had understood that he was going to be the lead for the project. And I know Holtec has a meeting to respond to his information request, I believe, on the 10th of July. And I think it would be appropriate for members of the Eddy Lea Alliance Board to also go to those meetings. But generally, I thought that this was premature, since he was designated as the lead, and we were supposed to be responding to him, who in turn would be responding to the governor. But it seemed premature, in fact, based on the fact that we haven't had that meeting. So I don't know what's going on, but I think it's we need to continue the discussions and make sure that everybody is well informed about the project. So I can read through that resolution, Mr. Chairman, if you would like.
Yeah, it's not part of our packet this morning.
I just asked for copies of it, but it'll take them a minute.
Yeah. We don't have it. I thought it would be in the packet this morning, John, but it's not. So we're going to have to get a hard copy of it for us to review it with you.
So while maybe somebody there at the county is making copies, did you have one, Sam, with you? Does anybody have a hard copy?
No, we do not. No one here at the meeting does. So it's on its way.
Let me read it then, if I may.
Okay.
And it says, whereas the Eddy Lea Energy Alliance, having spent significant time and effort affecting manufacturing facilities, storage systems, having discussion with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission regarding safety and regulations, and engaging other regulatory and scientific bodies over a 3-year period, vetting the safety and appropriateness of an interim storage facility for our area, included a central interim storage facility as a project that is safe and helps the area become diversified and less dependent on the ups and downs of the extractive industries. Furthermore, Eddy Lea found that NRC licensed interim storage facilities found that NRC licensed interim storage facilities exist at some 68 different sites in the United States and are safely storing used fuel in dry storage systems. And furthermore, there have been over 1,300 commercial used fuel shipments and over 850 naval fuel shipments made in the U.S. without release. And furthermore, the NRC states in their risk evaluation for a licensed transportation task of a release as 1 in 1 billion because of the robustness of the cast. Furthermore, the Holtec subsurface system is a solid concrete fortress containing the used fuel and is highly resistant to terrorism, crashes, geologic and weather attacks, and Eddy Lea believes it is the safest and best system in the world. Furthermore, the used fuel simply and passively cools and decays in this temporary storage facility until it is easily extracted from the storage silo and shipped to a permanent repository, which is required by law for Congress to provide. And furthermore, the Atomic Safety and Licensing Board, the NRC, a highly technical and legal body, has recently rejected some 50 contentions by intervener groups similar to the one put forth by the agricultural community and the Petroleum Association as having no technical or legal basis for objecting to the project. Therefore, the Eddy Lea Energy Alliance unanimously supports the Holtec Central Energy Storage Facility continuation of the licensing process upon licensing by the NRC, the construction and operation of the proposed facility. And furthermore, directs the leadership of Eddy Lea to respond to Governor Grisham's letter of objection and request a meeting with her to further explain the safety and technical issues raised about the project. And furthermore, respond by letter to the NRC and Secretary Perry of the unanimous support of the Eddy Lea Alliance for the project and request letters of support be sent to all parties as well from our member entities. Signed, Eddy Lea Alliance Chairman. So that's kind of the letter. I didn't think it's productive to get into a battle. I think that we need to be very circumspect about that. I think that we need to get into negotiations, and it doesn't help to polarize folks in the beginning. That's the resolution that I'm suggesting. And by the leadership, I'm expecting that maybe Sam and myself would construct letters and then have the rest of you approve them, if that's an acceptable process.
Yeah, that being said, John, I agree with the comments and still advocate for the project. I think that I have an obligation to go back to my commission and have a discussion with them and get their approval for us to move forward with a formal letter, especially given the fact that it's going to be going to the governor, Secretary of Energy, and a number of other, I think we need to copy all of our debt, not only our state legislators, but our federal legislators.
I think that's appropriate. I think maybe one of members need to go back to their member organizations, political subdivisions for that approval. And that this would be to get the letters drafted, and then you have to give you something to take back if that's what folks think they want to do.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I think that's important, and also the fact that it's not on our agenda, we really can't take action.
Right. We can't take action, so I think what we have to do is get the letter, get it formalized, and then we'll have to call a special meeting to get the letter approved by the board to take to the respective entities for their approval. And there may be some modifications after it comes back. So, if everyone's fine with that, I think we can probably make that a plan, but we can't take action on it today. So, John, when are you going to be back in town?
I'll be back Friday night.
Okay. You get back in town and get caught up on your personal stuff, you and I can get together and work on getting that done, and then we've got to get it into the various agendas with the entities. I think the county, ours is July 1st, our next meeting after this coming Monday, and then Mr. Gallagher, yours is July what?
July 18th.
July 18th. So we'll try to, but we will need to have a special meeting prior to that to authorize doing that.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's important that Holtec knows we're behind them, and I don't think we want to abandon the project. Maybe we put another paragraph in here, and it says, furthermore, upon approval by our member bodies of letters to the NRC and Secretary Perry that we send those letters. I think that having some resolution out of this meeting is important. And then you can go, it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to get back to, from your elected bodies for approval on that modification. I think if it's just a general, general resolution on our part, we fill in the final part. Says, furthermore, the Eddy Lea Alliance will respond based on our member organizations, political subdivisions, supporting the letter. Can we add that and then vote on this resolution to make sure we've got something in place that says, we're going to move forward?
That's a Mr. Caldwell question.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
He's asking for us to add that language to the existing letter.
Can you repeat the language, John?
John?
Yes.
Yeah, repeat what you wanted to add to what we have now in our hands.
I say in the last paragraph, furthermore, upon approval by our member organizations, our member political subdivisions, respond by letter to the NRC and Secretary of Energy and the others. So it would require our political subdivisions to approve the letters that we're going to send.
Would that be appropriate for us to vote on that today?
It would be, because you have agenda item A, which says authorize response to governor's letters opposing Holtec, Secretary of Energy, Perry, and others. This would fall within that agenda item, and it is listed as an action item.
Okay.
So you could do it.
Are there any other members that have any comments, additions, or deletions to the current draft resolution that John's provided?
There's a little typo in the first sentence, but
Typo in the first sentence? It says, Eddy Lea Energy should say the. Correct. If the minutes will reflect that change. Anything else? With that, I'll ask for a motion to adopt this resolution to be taken to our various political subdivisions for approval.
Mr. Chair, I motion to adopt the resolution to take to our entities, reflecting also Mr. Heaton's suggested changes.
Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Shirley Bank. May I have a second?
second.
Have a second by Mr. Senna. Please vote. And I'll ask for a roll call.
Yes, sir. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. All right. Eddy County,
Yes.
City of Carlsbad,
Yes.
City of Hobbs,
Yes.
Lee County.
Yes.
Motion does pass unanimously. Okay. Thank you, John. Appreciate your efforts on that. The next item is item number 9, request for proposals for general legal services. Mr. Caldwell continues to try to get out of the job. I don't understand that, John.
Mr. Chair, directors, we did issue the RFP. The deadline for response was May 24th. We received no responses at all to our RFP. So I need direction from this board. Do we reissue the RFP until we get responses? If you you have any other suggestions, my commission has expressed a concern that I not continue to do this for much longer because I am the only person in the Lee County Legal Department. I have no staff, and it's pretty time consuming. But anyway, I just need direction from you what to do. This is listed as a discussion and as an action item, so you could authorize the reissuance of the RFP. We published it in the Albuquerque paper, the Carlsbad paper, and the Hollis paper. And there were no responses.
My recommendation that we would reissue the RFP and continue to try to, and in the interim, let me visit with city staff and see where we might be in terms of providing some support. And I don't know, but Eddy County maybe do the same, to see if we might be able to get some staff, one of our staff members to do some support.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to suggest that maybe we look at sending it out, maybe into the West Texas area as well.
Even El Paso.
El Paso, Roswell.
As long as they're licensed in New Mexico.
Yes,
So.
there are a lot of firms that are licensed in New Mexico.
I agree.
Is there, other than, are we bound by law and procedure to do it in the public paper? Is there any other way we can do that through the legal profession so that we can maybe reach a broader base?
We could send it to the Bar Journal.
That's how I would recommend it.
Yeah.
If you look at a broader base, because I'm not sure that, I don't know how many attorneys are reading the paper each morning to see what the job might be up to. So that would be my recommendation.
All right. So we'll look at extending the publications where it's noticed and look at other ways of advertising it. We may even actually send it to directly to 15, 20 law firms if the board is okay with
Totally
that.
fine.
Yeah.
All right. Would you
I
like?
mean, if we're bound by our rules that we do it in the paper, that we need to do that. But if we could expand that, I think that would be a better approach.
We can expand it.
Okay, good.
We'll need a motion in action.
Okay, I will ask for a motion for us to continue the RFP process, but to expand the methods in which we do it. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Ms. Crockett, may I have a second? Sorry. I have a second by Mr. Smith, please vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Okay, motion does carry. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a comment?
Yeah.
And I want to thank.
And how do you vote, Mr. Heaton?
I vote yes.
Okay.
But I want to make a comment and thank Lee County for being our fiscal agent, and especially thank Chip and thank Mr. Caldwell. My gosh, he has just done a fabulous job, and he keeps us in line, which is difficult to do. And John, thank you for everything you've done, and Chip as well.
I agree and concur.
But I'm the worst. I'm just trying to learn it.
They did pretty good.
Next item is item number 10. This is for public comment. We ask that you limit it to 3 minutes. If you are representing an organization, please so state. Otherwise, we'll ask that you state for the record your name. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the board? Yes, sir. We have 2 individuals.
I'm coming.
There's a microphone available right there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, John. My name is Nate Maxwell, and I come before the board today to express that I do not consent to anything this board is doing. I want this board dissolved. I want you to wrap up your business. John, you said that the plan is to take this to a permanent repository. No, it's not. Now, you can sit there and you can say that, John, but it's not. I've seen your plans, and y'all ought to tell the public, since we're so well informed, more about this advanced burner reactor that y'all have plans for. Y'all ought to tell the public more about the recycling and processing. So you say permanent repository, John, what you really mean is process for recycling. What you really mean is we gotta get it here first, and we gotta say and do whatever it takes to get it here. Do not consent. I do not want this project here. This board has violated sunshine laws after sunshine laws. This board has a minute book that's supposed to exist that, as far as I know, still doesn't. That's the secretary's responsibility. That minute book is missing 3 years. Minutes. That minute book for the last 4 years is absolutely wrecked. There are violation after violation, and I have notified the president of this board more than once that these violations exist. I can't get their fix, and it's a violation of state law. You want to puff up at the governor and tell her, we want it in this state. It's such an economic boon, we just absolutely have to have it. Why don't you tell the public what your plans really are? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Macker.
Good morning again. Lorraine Villegas. My stance to this project has not changed. I'll continue to oppose it. We're well aware that there is no intention to moving this waste if the project is to pass. We're well aware of the vision of the small modular reactors that you guys have in your heads for this project, but it's not our vision. The community does not want this. To anybody who might be on the other side of that phone call in DC with Ms. Fahid today regarding the transportation, nobody in our community wants this. The only people who want this are you guys and people who have business interests attached to this project. It is not me, it is not the people in my community who I know personally. More people would be in here and opposing this project if they didn't have to work. I have to work today, but I'm here. I'm not getting paid for this, but my tax dollars continue to go to this project. So I'll have to say thank you guys for continuously giving me something to do. And I hope to learn more about what you guys want, because I don't want to fight against you. I'd like to work with you guys. I know there's a lot of education on both sides, but it's not a good idea. It's not worth the transportation risk. Thank you guys. Have a good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. First of all,
Please state your name, sir.
Nick King,
Okay.
and I'm the pastor at Carlsbad Mennonite Church. And first of all, I would like to say that since many of you, or if not all of you, are volunteering your time and energy for this, I want to thank you for your sincere interest in the good of the community. Shepherds, like all of us community leaders, are expected to look after the welfare of the sheep and the people in their surroundings for now and the future. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. And it's our job to take care of God's creation, as many denominations have stated in their various statements. So in this very long-term Holtec project that could negatively affect this area for generations and civilizations to come, I ask that we accept only a permanent and a safe disposal of this nuclear waste like that of Wick, where it's been buried 2,000 feet and it's done. To do something temporary and on the surface with no permanent plan seems to be totally irresponsible and a sadistic legacy to the grandchildren and civilizations that follow. To throw the responsibility on them to dispose of our waste. But in a culture of what is best for me now, as we often see around here, making Carlsbad and Hobbs the nuclear waste dump of America hardly seems to be a good strategy for economic development.
John.
Is that really going to attract retirees, businesses, new dairies, intellectuals, and investors? No, I think it's going to be quite the opposite. And if this really does have such broad community support, why not have an open vote on this biggest decision of our lifetimes? And see whether the community really does want to make Carlsbad and Hobbs a nuclear waste dump in America. Please. We are stewards of God's creation in this community. For God's sake and for the sake of our posterity, don't do this Holtec project.
Anyone else like to speak to the board this morning? Any other questions or comments of the members? There being none,
You're going to review the fill this out.
what is that?
Or this one.
Oh, yes. Is that, since we've got new officers, John, those of us that already done it, do we need to redo
No,
it?
you don't need to redo it, only if the
I know
employment.
Mr. Schmidt has filled out
He has
his.
filled his out. I have one from you, from Mr. Smith, from Commissioner Senna, and from Mr. Gallagher. I just need the other four to fill those out.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
you bet. With that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Crockett, second by Mr. Senna. Please, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Eaton, how do you vote?
Aye.
Okay, have a good day. Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
John.
Thanks, everyone.